Alright, well, let's talk about handouts. Let me just set it up here for you. If we were to watch this YouTube commercial here about Mr. Clean, I guess this lady would probably talk to Mr. Clean and they're going to sell some kind of a product. And let's pretend in 30 seconds that she said 100 words. Um, I think by the time the commercial finishes, let's just scroll through it. There's some words. Here's the presentation. And at the end, there's some more words. I bet you if she said 100 words verbally, maybe only 10 of them showed up in written format. That's sort of the way I want you to think about these presentations we're doing, where the slides are sort of the visual aid and the text is sort of quite minimal. That means that a lot of the good content doesn't show up on these slides, but show up later in a handout for people to take home. Now you're going to mention those statistics and all those points, but there's no way they're going to learn them all. So that's why we give them a handout. Also, if somebody was supposed to be at your presentation and couldn't make it, you could give them a handout, and they could take it home and pretty much have your presentation. So let's look at a couple different kinds of handouts here. I made one, and it's more formal for maybe a more formal audience. I have the title of the talk, my name and the date. I introduce the talk and I sort of give the layout or the agenda. And my first point is that standards are learned, and I just start sort of listing my points. But as soon as I get to a point that sort of isn't my own, I took it from somewhere else, then I need to cite it. And so I use this little footnote, and I go down here, and I just use any old MLA format style, from a writer's guide, a little brown handbook. There's so many different options in the handbook on how to cite them properly. But this is just a text citation. It's got the author and the title of the article, and what page it's on. That's a text sort of citation. I keep going in my notes here, sort of just listing the major points, the major things that I talked about. And anytime I come up with a point, an idea that's not my own, I need to cite it. Let's see if I got one here from online. Here's one right here. This one is from an online source right here. So let's look at it. Online source. So I gave the sort of the name of the article that was on the web page, and then the actual name of the web page was called Do Something. And I couldn't find a date that said updated on, so I just left the date that I accessed it on, and then I left the website. And notice in the website it's a .org. .org, .edu, .gov, those are all sort of, reliable, good sources. The more you put in the .coms, the less people are sort of impressed about it. Anyway, try to go for those .orgs, .edus, .govs. So that's one style of notes that you can use, a little more sort of professional, probably a little more time consuming. Second option is to add some notes right into your slides in the note section. Now don't get this confused with your queue system. Okay, I have a separate PowerPoint with a different queue system down here, but these are notes that I want other people to read. So I'm going to sort of do the same thing, but just put the notes sort of here with each slide. And again, I have the same sort of citation. Now let's see if I have one with a picture. Yeah, so here's one here. This time, because I'm handing out a picture that's not my own, I need to cite the picture. On the other one, I didn't, right? I didn't have any pictures. So here's the citation for the picture. I describe it first, Girl with the Magazine. It's an online image. It's available at this website, and that's the date that I accessed it. I gave more details about this in class on this piece of paper here, if it'll load up for us. Yeah, and that's on Moodle here, this paper, if you recall. So anyway, once I sort of add all my citations right onto my slides, I then look and see what slide I'm going to give them. I don't think they need slide 1, maybe slide 2, slide 4, slide 5 kind of thing. So I go here to print, and I say that I think the default is slides, but I'm going to go to notes pages, and then I can just put in the note pages I want with commas. So that was 2, I think 4, and 5, and so on. You get the idea. I can preview it here, And so it gives a little picture of the slide, and the notes are there. And I can go, oh, you can't see it, but just right above here is a button called next page, and you'll just see what you have there on your next page. And you can notice how I have this red font here. This is slide number 5. Let's just close and go back to our PowerPoint. You'll see on slide 5 it's not in red here. So it doesn't show up here, but I just go up to my home tab, which again you can't see, and I can edit this text any way I want, and it'll sort of show up that way on the printout slides. You know, you can change the font size and the color. So those are your two options for handouts. Again, they're just a detail of what you talked about in your presentation. And yeah, hopefully that answers your questions. Let me know if you have any. Okay.